It's definitely his injury, because his injury is what kept him out for the entire season last year. And as a result, the rust is clearly evident. He's not himself. He's a better than 31% shooter from the field. He's anemic from three-point range. But the biggest thing, and perhaps most telling thing to me, that this is definitely about his injury, having him miss the whole year last season, is the fact that each and every single game this year, he has had more turnovers than assists. That is not Derrick Rose. We all know that is not Derrick Rose. So he's going to take some time to recover. It's still plenty of time. There's still about 77 games left in the season. He'll be just fine. But I also think it's an indictment against his teammates, because he doesn't have the requisite weapons. Nate Robinson is gone. Marco Bellinelli is gone. Luol Deng doesn't look like himself. Having led the league in minutes played the last 2 years, seems to have gotten the better of him. I definitely think that's the case. Mike Dunleavy, to me, is a spot-up shooter. That's who he is. That's what he is. So I look at it and I say to myself, yeah, it's the injury for the most part, but it's also the personnel. He doesn't have much support, and that can't be ignored.
I hear what you're saying, Stephen A., and just 4 games in, I don't want to be too conclusive or harsh with my view here. I don't know how Derrick is feeling physically. He looks fine to me physically. He moves fine, jumps fine. Don't see any evidence lingering from the knee recovery. But this is just my view. I feel like there's a little RG3 syndrome operating here. I feel like through Derrick Rose's rehab, he made this so much about him and not much at all about us, about team. And I remind you, later last year, March and April, when we read that he had been cleared by team doctors to play, we also reportedly heard that some of his teammates were wondering why he didn't come back to help a team that was on the way to a pretty good record, 45-37. And there was a lot of consternation in and around Chicago about what's Derrick doing? Why won't he help a team that could make a run in the playoffs with him, with Bellinelli, with Nate Robinson? So when he did return this year, remember, he immediately began to talk big, bold talk about how I am way better than I used to be. My basketball IQ is much better than it used to be. But we're not seeing that so far. We're seeing a player who is fixated just on his offensive game. We're seeing him force way too many shots. I know he made his first 3 jump shots last night, which was a great sign. After that, he went back to being the same Derrick Rose we saw in the first 3 games. And as you point out, 21 turnovers to only 15 assists through the first 4 games. And last night, Roy Hibbert wound up with 3 assists, and Derrick Rose wound up with 2 assists in that game. It's impossible. And Derrick Rose got reinserted into the game with 6:16 left. And I remind you, the final score looks more lopsided than it was, because 6:16 left in the game, the Bulls were only down 3. It was 72-69. And from that point on, the Pacers went on a 23-9 run. And for Derrick Rose, it was the worst second half plus-minus of his career, a -27. Well, that's not Derrick Rose. That's not the guy you picked to be the MVP this year. So I'm still suggesting early on that even without Bellinelli and without Lil Nate, this team is still better than Derrick is making it look so far. Because right now, everything is revolving around him. He's getting nobody involved to a fault. This team is not terrible the way it finally looked in the fourth quarter. They looked hapless. They're not hapless.
I don't believe that. I think if you look at the Chicago Bulls, I mean, listen, again, Luol Deng, having led the league in minutes the last 2 years, minutes played. He looks a little bit tired. He doesn't look like himself. What did he do last night? He had 17 points, 6 of 18 shooting, 33% from the field. He doesn't seem to be the Luol Deng we've known and loved over recent memory. Mike Dunleavy's a spot-up shooter. Kirk Heinrich is the backup he's supposed to be. Taj Gibson is coming off the bench, but you got Carlos Boozer, who's a post presence. You've got Joakim Noah, who's basically a defensive stopper and a rebounder and a defensive presence. You don't really have anybody to help Derrick Rose. So it's not like he's out there being selfish and saying, well, you know what, I don't care about y'all, I just want my numbers. That's not his personality. That's not his basketball character. He's a guy that can play this game. It's just that if he's limited in the help and assistance that he has, what is he supposed to do? You're going to go out there and you're going to try to do the best that you can with what you have, because you deep in your heart, you know you don't have enough. This is about John Paxson and Gar Foreman, two guys I like tremendously and respect a lot and have every confidence they can do the job. They've got to go out and get Derrick Rose some help.